Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Jai Gurudev. Welcome to Bhakti Chakora Jai Gurudev Ashram here in Seattle. We're doing a special program for Nityananda Trayodasi today, the appearance day of Lord Nityananda, who is Akhanda Guru Tattva and known as the most merciful, most compassionate expansion of Krishna, and the perfect example of Guru himself. So we look forward to doing some Nitai Bhajans and hearing and speaking about Lord Nityananda and celebrating this auspicious day. So please join us, and we'll begin with Bhajans, songs of prayer for this special incarnation. Hare Krishna. Jai Nitai. Happy Nityananda Trayodasi at Bhakti Chakora Jai Gurudev Ashram in Seattle. Hare Krishna. Let's start with an invocation prayer to bring in all of our acharyas in our disciplic succession of gurus, which traces back to Krishna himself. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuddhapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ladita Shri Vishakamatamscha Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakamatamscha Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Gaura Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Vanayati Namine Vandeham Bhakti Chakora Gauranganija Prestitam Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamivanam Namastubhyam Shri Radha Ikanistitam Rasayan Katamritam Sankirtanam Anandadam Goswaminam Vanam Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyanmane Shri Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayani Namine Shri Krishna Lilane Nilakatane Sudaksham Adarya Madhurya Ganeshayutam Airam Varinyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirasa Namami Namo Vishnu Padaya Keshavaya Prasthaya Namo Vishnupadaya Keshava Prestaya Bhutale Shri Shima Bhakti Vedanta Vamanayati Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnupadaya Acharya Simharupine Shri Shima Bhakti Pragya Keshavayiti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatharine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Pranta Harini Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Varaika Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Adambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachirananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumistha Nirdesta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhuma Shri Jagannatayate Namaha Vanchakapatirubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanena Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinavano Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Dutta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Suratarpambo Mama Matir Mat Sarvasvapadam Puja Radha Madana Mohana Divya Vrindaranyaka Bhadramadha Shrimad Ratnagara Simhastanasto Shrimad Radha Shila Govinda Dev Kristani Bhisevyo Mano Smarami Shrimad Sarasarambe Om Shiva Tatatastitaha Karshan Venu Sudhir Gopi Gopinata Shri Vrindaye Tulasi Devyai Priyaye Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavajai Namo Namaha Panchatatatmakam Krishna Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. I'm going to turn down the mic a little bit. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
You can't see you though. Look, you can see much better now.
So, Nitai Bhajan. And your Shri Gaudiya Giti Gucha, which if you don't have one, you can find it online. Shri, just type in Shri, S-R-I, Gaudiya, Gaudiya, Giti, Giti, Gucha, Gucca, Shri Gaudiya Giti Gucha. And they have a free PDF online. And you can check it out. So we'll start with Nitai Gunamani Amar. Nitai, just page 61. And I'll do call and response so everyone can sing along if they like. Nitai Gunamani Amar, Nitai Gunamani, Nitai Gunamani Amar, Nitai Gunamani, Aniya Premera Vanya Vasaino Hani, Aniya Premera Vanya Vasaino Hani, Premir Vanya Nitai, I love God Adeshe. Premir Vanya Nitai, I love God Adeshe. Do we love Katha Dina Hina nabase dobila bhakata ganao dinahina base Nitai gunamani amar Nitai gunamani Aniya premera vanya Bhasailu Aniya premera vanya Bhasailu Dinahina patita par Maranahi bache Dinahina patita par Maranahi bache Brahmaradulabha prema sabakare jache Brahmaradulabha prema sabakare jache Abudha karuna sindhu kaitiyamana Abudha karuna sindhu kaitiyamana Hare Hare Bole Prema Amiyaragana Hare Hare Bole Prema Amiyaragana Nitai gunamani amar Nitai gunamani Nitai gunamani amar Nitai gunamani Aniya premera vanya Vasailavani Lochana vane mura nitai Jebana bhajilo Lochana vane mura nitai Jebana bhajilo Janiya shuniya se Atmagati Janiya shuniya se Atmagati Nitai gunamani amar Nitai gunamani Nitai gunamani amar Nitai gunamani Aniya premera vanya Vasaino Aniya premera vanya Vasaino Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur, 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 Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur. Oh Nitai hey, Nitai hey, Nitai hey, Nitai hey. Oh Nitai hey, Nitai hey, Nitai hey. Oh Nitai hey. Alright, so let's read the meaning behind that beautiful bhajan. It's a Bengali bhajan by Srila Lochandas Thakur. Nitai is a jewel of all virtues. My Nitai is a jewel of all virtues. He has inundated the entire world with a flood of prema, love, divine love. Nitai has come to the land of Gauda, Bengal, bringing that flood of prema. The devotees are submerged in it, but the wretched and lowly remain floating. He does not discriminate against the wretched, lowly, fallen, and sinful. He freely offers to everyone the prema that is so rare that it is difficult for even Lord Brahma to attain. By cutting a channel in the dam, holding the unlimited ocean of mercy, Nitai has caused a flood of nectarian prema to surge in each and every house. Lochandas says, whoever has not worshipped my Nitai knowingly commits suicide. Ooh, rough. So we better worship Lord Nitai. Alright. I've been asked, there's a request for Gurudev Kripa Benjudia. Since Lord Nityananda is a Kandaguru Tapa, I think it's quite appropriate to sing a Gurudev bhajan. It's always appropriate to sing a Gurudev bhajan, but especially appropriate. No. So page 32 in your Sri Gaudiya Giti Gucha. Gurudev Kripa Binudaya Karoe Dasi Trinapekshati Gurudev Kripa Binudaya Karoe Dasi Trinapekshati Sakala Sahani Maladiya Kairo Nijamare Spriyana Sakala Sahani Maladiya Kairo Nijamare Spriyana Gurudev Kripa Binudaya Karoe Dasi Trinapekshati Sakala Samani Kurite Shakati Dehonata Jata Jata Sakale Samani Sama Karite Shakati Dehonata Yata Tamite Konivo Harinama Sukhe Aparadha Vihata Tamito Karivo Harinama Sukhe
bindu diya karoe dase Trilabekshatina Kabehino Kripalabhiyayitana Tritartai Venata Shakti Buddhi Amniyatina Karumuriya Masata Shakti Buddhi Amiyatina Karumuriya Masata Gurudev Kripa Vindudiya Karvedasi Trilabekshatina Kabehino Kripa Labhiyayitana Kritartai Bhegatai Shakti Buddhina Amiyatina Karumuriya Masata Gurudev Kripa Vindudiya Karuvedase Trilabekshatina Gurudev Kripa Vindudiya Karuvedase Trilabekshatina Yogyata vicharin kichonai pran Tumhara karuna saira Yogyata vicharin kichonai pran Tumhara karuna saira Karuna nahare Kariya kariya pranana rakhibora Karuna nahare kariya kariya pranana rakhibora Gurudev Kripa Vindudiya Karuvedasi Trilabekshatina Gurudev Kripa Vindudiya Karuvedasi Trilabekshatina Gurudev 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 Kripa Vindudiya Karuvedase Trilabekshatina Gurudev Kripa Vindudiya Karuvedase Trilabekshatina Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari
Jai Nitai.
Jai Gurudev. Alright, any requests? Wait, I don't know what you were asking I spell. Shri Gaudiya Gitigucha, maybe. I'll spell it out. Shri Gaudiya Gitigucha. Okay. Cool. Shannon, do you have your phone on you? Could you maybe post the free PDF for Shri Gaudiya Gitigucha on the Facebook comments?
Hello. Hello. I like your shirt.
What's that?
I love your shirt.
Ah, thanks.
Okay.
Don't know what it means.
Let's have a seat. Right? You already said. Please take a songbook
Yeah.
and some cards out.
You're the best we
Well, I
can.
don't know my reading list.
You need to sit in a chair.
No,
Thank you.
not for a while.
Here's some.
This one's really nice.
Would you like some water?
Sure.
Yeah. We have some bottles of water, right? Janara?
This one's for you.
When
When are you ready?
And
Yeah, I'll give you some water.
my knees were popping before, not my knees, my hip.
Poppin'. Doing the poppin' dance?
Can I have some Kamalacha?
This one here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
That's stability.
Yes.
You have to check on that?
Yes. Harinam Diksha. Srila Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai.
You want water?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so let's do Nitai. How about Nadia Godrume? Nityananda Bhajan. Adhyajano Adhyajivitakaram. Page 163. Hmm.
163.
Yeah. Thank you.
You can.
Do either of you play card toss? A little bit? Can you keep a beat? At least?
That's my problem. What I'm afraid of is.
Helpful. 1, 2, 3.
I know, yeah. I'll check. I've been corrected many times. Still don't know any difference.
As long as it stays on beat, so that's good.
Where's your deities?
JDs, we have a Govardhan Sheila
Find
here.
a lot of
Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai.
Are you looking for some?
We are not looking for deities quite yet because we're still getting established, so we don't want to load too much on right away.
Yeah.
We need like a full-time pujari kind of
Sure,
thing.
yeah.
And Gurudev said pictures is fine for now, so
Aw.
yeah. Yeah. And Srinath Ji is here and Giriraj Govardhan is here. So that's pretty good. Yeah, totally. Panchatattva. Okay. So let's do Nadia Godrume. Page 163. Jai Govinda, did you find it online? Should be on purebhakti.com, the free PDF. Nadia, Nadia Guru Nityananda Mahaja Patiya Chena Mahatta Jivara Kara Nadia, Nadia Guru Nityananda Mahaja Patiya Chena Mahatta Jivara Kara Shadhavana Jana Hai Shadhavana Jana Hai Shadhavana Jana Hai Shadhavana Jana Hai Patiya Chena Mahatta Jivara Kara Patiya Chena Mahatta Jivara Kara Nadia, Nadia Guru Nityananda Mahaja Patiya Chena Mahatta Jivara Kara Apara Darshan Hoida Krishna Nam 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 Krishna Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Dharma Brahm 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 Nadia, Nadia Gotru Nityananda Mahaja Patiya Chena Mahatta Jivara Kara Nadia, Nadia Gotru Nityananda Mahaja Patiya Chena Mahatta Jivara Kara Krishna samsara ko chadiyana char Krishna samsara ko chadiyana char Krishna samsara ko chadiyana char Chadiyana char Jividaya Krishna nama sarva dharma sar Jividaya Krishna Nama Sarva Dharma Sar Nadia, Nadia Gotru Nityananda Mahaja Patiya Chena Mahatta Jivara Kara Nadia, Nadia Gotru Nityananda Mahaja Patiya Chena Mahatta Jivara Kara Nadia, Nadia Gotru Nityananda Mahaja Patiya Chena Mahatta Jivara Kara Nadia, Nadia Gotru Nityananda Mahaja Patiya Chena Mahatta Jivara Kara Jaya Nitai, Jaya Go Jaya Nitai, Jaya Go Jaya Go Jaya Nitai, Jaya Go Jaya Nitai, Jaya Go Jaya Nitai, Jaya Go Jaya Go Jaya Nitai, Jaya Go Nitai hai, Nitai hai, Nitai hai, oh Nitai hai, Nitai hai, Nitai hai, oh Nitai hai. Would you like to sing one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Think what I know that's.
Do you know a Nityananda one?
I don't know if I do. Let me just look in the back.
Like Katha. Or
Today. Maybe I'll
Nanda, do you know a Nitai brother?
sing on. Yeah.
No?
Okay.
Okay.
Names
Maybe
sound.
not
Let
the
me
name,
think.
but
Yeah, yeah, I hear your names.
Akroda Paramananda.
I don't know that one enough to lead it, but I do like that one.
Yeah, right? Okay,
Maybe
so-
not. It's not good. And in my book, I had a list of all my favorites.
You can sing anyone you like. Well,
I'm like blanking. Nitai, Katha, come
That's a
on.
nice
I don't know if I know that one enough to lead it. Do you know it?
not well enough to lead it.
I don't know that very well.
Good one on the learning list.
No, I don't know that one.
Something, Haribo.
Maybe a Vaishnav one I might know. I already did that.
Any bhajan that you know, though, you can sing. Like maybe a Gora bhajan. Nityananda always loves when we sing for Gauranga, and vice versa. Alright, Devendra, do you know Gauranga bhajan?
the only one I know is Gauranga Nitai.
Perfect. Alright. You want to sit up here?
Damn, on the spotlight.
Yeah.
I'm not even in uniform.
Oh. Fresh off the streets.
I'm going to work. I'm tired. Thanks. Alright. Takes off. I get hot when I sing for embarrassment.
Is that what else is?
Oh yeah.
Must be on it.
I start sweating. The public eye is too much.
We got like 1,000 views.
That's okay. But enough. A few friends.
All the demigods.
Yeah.
My job don't got heaters. So it's cold out
Oh
there.
my goodness.
It was cold. I'm almost ready to
That's
close.
Alright.
All right. Gurunga Balite have 86.
Alright, thank you. Been a minute. Small little Mexican. Gauranga bolite have pura kasarira hari hari bolite Yane Bhavani Gauranga Morite Mame Gauranga Sadira Hari Hari Boli Yane Bhavani Hare Kambe Nitai Share Ore Namo Samsara Vasana Mora Kave Kushahare Nisaya Taiya Bhave Surahave Mana Bhave Amahe Sri Vrindavana Uparaguna Pare Koi Beatuti Ave Namajabo Yajula Priti Gauranga Bodhite Have Bhulaka Sarira Hari Hari Bolite Na Yane Bhavaniya Gauranga Bodhite Have Bhulaka Sarira Hari Hari Bolite Na Yane Bhavani Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He, Nitai Gaura Haribo. Panic at the end. Now sweating. All right, that's my one for the day.
All right. You did it. Do you want to sing?
I don't.
Same.
You don't sing? You sing like
He
this.
doesn't really know any Bhajan yet.
Just Mahamantra then.
It's okay, good man.
You don't want to listen?
I don't know nothing.
That's why you're here.
He knows the Mahamantra, he's just shy.
I'm Sergeant Schultz. I don't know nothing.
Oh, but you seem so wise.
Because I'm old.
No!
Okay.
It's your aura. Are you going to sing?
Only Bhajan I know.
Oh, yeah,
Aw.
an artist special.
I couldn't find it. I'm still trying to find it.
Which page is it?
Harmonium?
I'll sing
Oh.
Krishna
I don't
or
have my right glasses on to see.
It's on 9. You're in Sangha right now, Jai Govinda. Online Sangha.
Jai,
Jai.
page 156.
156.
Get the Mridanga, Christian parents?
I got cartels.
Do you play Mridanga or drum or anything?
I'll try that yellow
Yeah.
thing. What is it
Yeah.
called?
Mridanga.
He's okay.
Play it however you know how to play.
What's that?
It's a little costly.
Whoa.
Well,
I almost
Play
dropped
on
it.
that
Instrument. I'm left hand.
Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Gaurahari Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Gaurahari Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Gaurahari Nityananda Pranadana Narya Bihari Sachinandana Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Gaurahari Nityananda Pranadana Narya Bihari Sachinandana Nityananda Pranadana Bihari Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Gaurahari Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Gaurahari Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Gaurahari Vishnu Priya Pranadana Narya Bihari Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Gaurahari Vishnu Priya Pranadana Narya Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Sacinandana, Jaya Gaura Hari, Nityananda Pranadana, Sankirtan Bihari. Jaya Gaura Hari, Nityananda Pranadana, Sankirtan Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga. Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Sacinandana, Jaya Gaura Hari. Jaya Sacinandana, Jaya Gaura Hari. Jaya Sacinandana, Jaya Gaura Hari. Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Who's next?
I think Krishna one.
You can't two knees up, can you?
Yeah, you can.
No.
So, I think you peel this back.
You gotta peel them back and heat it.
No, it's like a screwdriver. That,
Oh, there's
yeah,
a
like
screwdriver.
an
That's
arm
no.
This one, yeah, it's more like a little, like a.
I don't know how to play it. But,
Yeah, it's hard to play.
I mean,
Like
can you see? Right?
Yeah.
You know how to play this thing? It's a banana.
Okay.
just like a little flake.
Yeah, it's from Africa or India. Where's that come from?
India.
You got it from India?
You know, packaging.
Like my carry-on load.
What is it?
Why not?
Like,
Oh, so it's heavy.
I can
it's pretty
play.
light. No, it's
I
light.
can play anything on
What
harmonium
is the
if you have the
strips?
Strips is,
Does that how they form the clay inside there?
yeah, it's a clay dome inside, and the strips are like,
it's a three.
like, hold on.
Yeah, because they have to wet them. Get that shape like that.
360.
Yeah, they make it special.
Yeah, make sure.
360. Oh, 360. No, 360.
And then you can go.
Just
There's a little stink bug on there.
Stink bug?
A little stink bug. A little stink
Oh,
bug.
no, I don't want to sit on
Grab it.
You just brush them off.
Well, no, let's put it outside.
what is it?
Do they bite?
I don't think they bite.
What is it? A skink bug?
Yeah.
Bug? Come on, dude.
They're around here. They're just from the south.
Mhm.
Hare Krishna, please go away.
Don't step on this thing.
I don't think it was a stink bug.
It's like if you walk through the street in Philadelphia, it smells like ginkgo.
Kरेंगे नया रे बाजा कृष्ण कन्हैया करेंगे नया रे बाजा कृष्ण कन्हैया करेंगे नया रे बाजा कृष्ण कन्हैया Krishna Kanhaiya Dauji Kabeya Krishna Kanhaiya Dauji Kabeya Krishna Kanhaiya Bhakti Bhajeya Krishna Kanhaiya Bhakti Bhajeya Nakanachu Raya Deva Krishna Kanhaiya Nakanachu Raya Deva Krishna Kanhaiya Har karenge Naya Deva Krishna Kanhaiya Har karenge Naya Deva Krishna Kanhaiya Krishna Kanhaiya Girivaruteya Krishna Kanhaiya Girivaruteya Krishna Kanhaiya Rasaracheya Krishna Kanhaiya Rasaracheya Har karenge Naya Deva Krishna Kanhaiya Har karenge Naya Deva Krishna Kanhaiya Mitra Sudama Tanduralaye Mitra Sudama Tanduralaye Gale Laga Prabhu Gogala Gaye Gale Laga Prabhu Gogala Gaye Haka Haka Baya Re Bhaja Krishna Kanhaiya Har karenge Bhajan Krishna Kanhaiya Har karenge Naya Re Bhaja Krishna Kanhaiya Har karenge Naya Re Bhaja Krishna Kanhaiya Har karenge Shamaniya Giri Hari Baka Shamaniya Giri Hari Baka Kalina Gana Kaya Deva Krishna Kaneya Kalina Gana Kaya Deva Krishna Kaneya Par karenge Naya Deva Krishna Kaneya Par karenge Naya Deva Krishna Kaneya Jupita Sutta Javadusana Geri Jupita Sutta Javadusana Geri Rakina Jana Kini Deri Rakina Jana Kini Deri Gaya Shiva Gaya Reva Krishna Kaneya Gaya Shiva Gaya Reva Krishna Kaneya Par karenge Gaya Reva Krishna Kaneya Par karenge Gaya Reva Krishna Kaneya Par karenge Naya Deva Krishna Kaneya Par karenge Naya Deva Krishna Kaneya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
read them? One book.
Do you want to think about it? What do you want? It's pretty famous.
Next time.
Okay, we're gonna
You sure? I really want to hear something. Okay. Yeah, we can just read it. I'll read that. Do you have anything for
we start with reading. Then we each do a little bit,
Okay.
and then everyone gets a chance, and maybe that everyone gets to glorify Nitai.
Sounds good. Okie dokie. We're reading from Sri Nityananda Charitamrita.
Which is someone took all the pastimes out of the Chaitanya Bhagavat of Nityananda and put them in the book.
Jai.
So
Mhm. All the pastimes of Nityananda in a book. All right. We could do the Deliverance of Jagai and Madai. That's a classic. Page 81.
what about his birth? His birth is in there?
Yeah. Guess we could start with that. Okay. Chapter 1. The Birth and Childhood Activities of Lord Nityananda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the ocean of mercy. All glories to Lord Nityananda, the friend of the fallen souls. All glories to Sri Advaita Acharya, whose life and soul are Sri Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda. All glories to Srivas and Gadadhar Prabhus. All glories to Sri Vishwambara, the beloved son of Jagannath and Sachi. All glories to all the devotees and associates of the Lord. There is a village called Ekachakra in Radhadesh in West Bengal, where the Supreme Lord Nityananda appeared. From the day of his appearance, the whole of Radhadesh became all auspicious. Famine, poverty, and other distresses at once disappeared. A short distance from Ekachakra, the deity of Maureshvara is located. Lord Nityananda, who is non-different from Lord Balaram, had worshipped this deity. In the village of Ekachakra lived Hadai Pandit. He was a qualified Brahmana, very detached and full of compassion. His wife's name was Padmavati, who was a very chaste woman and an exalted devotee. She was the mother of the universe. Both Hadai Pandit and Padmavati Devi were very magnanimous. Lord Nityananda appeared in their family out of his own sweet will. On the auspicious 13th day of the waxing moon in the month of Magha, which is January to February, Lord Nityananda made his appearance. He was the eldest among the sons of Hadai Pandit. Seeing his all auspicious characteristics, everyone's eyes filled with joy. In due course of time, Lord Nityananda grew. Due to the influence of his illusory energy, however, no one could recognize him. He concealed his real identity, and he happily played with his boyhood friends. Whatever pastimes he enjoyed with his childhood friends were related to the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Once he and his friends formed an assembly of demigods, and one of them acted as Mother Earth, praying for their mercy. The demigods then led Mother Earth to the riverbank, where all the children began offering prayers. One boy, hiding from the rest, loudly declared, "I will soon take birth in Mathura, Gokul." One night, the Lord and his friends enacted the marriage of Vasudeva and Devaki. Another night, while everyone else was asleep, they made a jail cell and enacted the birth of Lord Krishna. They made a place represent Gokul. Taking baby Krishna there, he was exchanged with Mahamaya,
thus tricking Kamsa. Another time they dressed someone as Putana. Someone climbed on her chest to suck her breast. One day, sorry, Lord Nityananda and his friends made a shakata, or hand cart, out of reeds and then broke it. Another day, the Lord and his friends stole from the houses of the neighboring cowherd men. The boys never left Nityananda to go home, but sported with him day and night. The children's parents never complained, rather they affectionately embraced Nityananda. They said, "We've never seen such transcendental sports. How does this child know so many of Krishna's pastimes?" One day the Lord made snakes out of leaves and took his friends to the water. One of them jumped into the water and did not move. Then later the Lord brought him back to consciousness. Another day the Lord and his friends went to Talavan, where they killed Dhenukasura and then ate tala fruit. Lord Nityananda and his childhood friends went to the fields and enjoyed various pastimes, such as the killing of Bakasura, Agasura, and Vatsasura. In the afternoon, the Lord and his friends returned home, blowing their buffalo horns. One day they enjoyed the pastime of lifting Govardhan Hill, and another day they created a Vrindavan, where they enjoyed various sports. Once they enacted Krishna's pastime of stealing the gopis' clothes, and another day they enacted his meeting of the wives of the brahmanas performing sacrifices. On one occasion, a boy dressed up with a false beard as Narada and gave Kamsa some secret news. Another day, a boy dressed as Akrura and took Krishna and Balaram to Kamsa's capital. As Lord Nityananda cried in the mood of the gopis, it seemed to his friends that a river flowed from his eyes. By the influence of Lord Vishnu's illusory energy, no one could recognize Lord Nityananda as he enjoyed pastimes with his friends. The children arranged a city of Mathura and then wandered through the streets. Someone played the role of a gardener, while another accepted a flower garland from him. Someone dressed up as Kubja, and someone else accepted sandalwood paste from her. They made a large bow and shouted with joy when it was broken. They also enacted the pastimes of killing the elephant Kuvalayapida and the wrestlers Chanura and Mushtika. Thereafter, the Lord chastised Kamsa by grabbing him by the hair and throwing him upon the ground. After killing Kamsa, the Lord danced with his friends in such a way that everyone watching him began to laugh. In this way, Lord Nityananda and his friends imitated the pastimes of various incarnations. Would you mind plugging the laptop in?
I can't share this because I'm an admin in the work.
Oh, okay.
Is the phone being plugged in too?
Yeah, if possible. It would be good. Okay. One day, Lord Nityananda dressed as Vamana and went to cheat Bali Maharaj out of his kingdom, which covered the 3 worlds. Someone playing an aged Shukra Chakra forbade Bali to give the 3 steps of land requested by Lord Vamana. Accepting the gift, the Lord placed his last step on Bali's head. One day, Lord Nityananda enacted the pastime of building a bridge across the ocean with the boys playing the role of monkeys. They cut castor plants and made a bridge across the water. Then all the boys shouted, "Jaya Raghunath!" Jai. Everyone say it. Jai Raghunath! Nityananda Prabhu, taking the role of Lakshman with a bow in his hand, went in anger to rebuke Sugriv. He said, "O king of the monkeys, my lord is in distress. Come quickly or I will kill you. How can you sit here enjoying with women while Lord Ramachandra is lamenting on Malyavan mountain?" Another day, Nityananda spoke in anger to Parashurama. "O Brahmana, I am not at fault. Leave here at once." Lord Nityananda was thus absorbed in the mood of Lakshman. The boys, unable to understand this, thought it was just a game. Another time, the boys took the role of 5 monkeys, and the Lord took the role of Lakshman. He asked, "Who are you monkeys wandering in the forest?" "I am servant of Lord Ramachandra. Please tell me who you are." The boys replied, "We are wandering in fear of Bali. Please take us to Lord Ramachandra. We wish to take the dust of his lotus feet." Nityananda, in the role of Lakshman, embraced them and led them to Lord Ramachandra, where they fell at his lotus feet. Once the Lord enacted the pastime of killing Indrajit, the son of Ravana. Another day, in the mood of Lakshman, he accepted defeat. They brought someone in the role of Vibhishana before Lord Ramachandra, and Lord Ram crowned him as the king of Lanka. One boy said, "I am mighty Ravana. Now I'll release the Shakti Shaila weapon. Stop it if you can, Lakshman." Saying this, the boy threw a lotus flower at Lord Nityananda, who in the mood of Lakshman fell to the ground. After he fell unconscious, all the boys tried in vain to revive him. When they found no symptom of life in the body of Lord Nityananda, they all held their heads and cried. The Lord's father and mother came running there and saw their son without a sign of life. They too fell senseless to the ground. Everyone who saw this tragedy was struck with wonder. As the boys described the entire incident, one person said, "I know why he's unconscious. There is a boy who is dressed as Hanuman. If he gives Nityananda medicine, then he'll be cured." Before the play, the Lord had instructed his friends, "When I fall unconscious, you all surround me and cry. After a while, send Hanuman for some medicine. I will be revived when he puts the medicine to my nose." The Lord fell unconscious by his own sweet will, but this bewildered all the boys. Since everyone there was confused, they forgot the Lord's instructions. They simply cried loudly, "Oh, brother, please get up." Hearing the people's comments, the boys remembered Lord Nityananda's order, and the boy dressed as Hanuman immediately went for medicine. Another boy, who was distressed as a renunciate, welcomed Hanuman with fruits and roots. He said to Hanuman, "My dear sir, please stay and grace my ashram. It's a wonderful fortune to meet such a person as you." "I must go and complete my important mission," Hanuman replied. "I'd like to stay, but I cannot delay. You must have heard that Lakshman, the younger brother of Lord Ramachandra, is unconscious from the Shakti Shaila weapon of Ravana. I'm on my way to Gandhamadana Hill to bring medicine. Only then he'll survive." The renunciate said, "If you must go, first take a bath and have something to eat." Then the two boys repeated whatever Lord Nityananda had instructed them. Everyone gazed at them in astonishment as they listened to their dialogue. On the request of the renunciate, Hanuman went to take bath in the lake where the other boy grabbed hold of his feet. The boy playing a crocodile tried to pull Hanuman into the water, but Hanuman pulled the boy onto the shore. After a short fight, Hanuman defeated the crocodile. On returning to the renunciate's ashram, Hanuman saw a mighty warrior. A boy dressed as Rakshasa tried to swallow Hanuman. He challenged, "You defeated the crocodile, but how will you defeat me?" "I will eat you. Then how will you revive Lakshman?" Hanuman replied, Your Ravana is a dog. I think him most insignificant. Get out of my way." After first exchanging some harsh words, Hanuman and the Rakshasa began pulling each other's hair. Finally, they began striking each other with their fists. After swiftly defeating the demon, Hanuman went to Gandhamadana Hill. There he fought with some boys dressed as Gandharvas. After defeating the Gandharvas, Hanuman took Gandhamana Hill on his head to Lanka. Another boy, playing a doctor, meditated on Lord Ram as he held the medicine to Lakshman's nose. At that very moment, Lord Nityananda came to his senses. His parents and all others smiled and winked. Hadai Pandit embraced his son, and all the boys were overjoyed. Everyone asked, "Dear son, where have you learned all these plays?" "These are my pastimes," the Lord smilingly said. In his early childhood, the Lord was most attractive. No one wanted him to leave his lap. Everyone had more affection for Lord Nityananda than for his own son, but none could recognize him due to the influence of Lord Vishnu's illusory energy. In his childhood, Lord Nityananda had no other happiness than enjoying the pastimes of Lord Krishna. All his friends left their parents to constantly sport in the company of the Lord. I offer repeated obeisances at the feet of those boys who enjoyed the association of Lord Nityananda. From his childhood, Lord Nityananda had no interest other than enacting the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Who can describe the pastimes of Lord Ananta? They are only manifest to one who has received his mercy. Accepting Sri Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Jai Nitai. Your turn. Come on.
All right. Oh. So we just continue.
Or you can go to any chapter.
I don't really know pastimes are where. Where did we leave off? This is?
We're just in the first chapter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just read chapter 2 then. Chapter 2, Lord Nityananda is traveling to holy places. Lord Nityananda enjoyed his pastimes at the house of Hadai Pandit for some time. Then he decided to leave home. However, from fear of separation, his mother and father were unable to allow him to leave. If his mother, Padmavati, did not see him for a moment, she felt this as more than a yuga. His father felt the same. Fearful of his leaving, Hadai Pandit never went anywhere. Whether he went to the field for farming, or to the temple, or the market, or anywhere else, Hadai Pandit repeatedly looked back at Lord Nityananda so that he might not leave home. Hadai Pandit embraced Lord Nityananda again and again, and the Lord's butter-soft body merged in his father's. Hadai went everywhere with Lord Nityananda. Hadai Pandit's life and soul was Lord Nityananda, and Lord Nityananda's body was Hadai Pandit's. Lord Nityananda is the indwelling supersoul of everyone. Knowing all this, he tried to give pleasure to his father. One day, by providence, a very attractive sannyasi came to Hadai Pandit's house. Knowing the etiquette for receiving guests, Hadai Pandit welcomed the sannyasi and happily fed him. Lord Nityananda and his father spent the whole night discussing topics of Lord Krishna with the sannyasi. In the early morning, the sannyasi was about to leave. Then he spoke to Hadai Pandit. "I would like to request something from you. Please tell me whatever it is that you desire," replied Hadai Pandit. "I wish to travel to the holy places," the sannyasi said, "but I don't have a good Brahmin companion. Will you please give me your eldest son for a few days? I'll take good care of him, treating him as being dearer than my own life, and at the same time, he'll be able to visit all the holy places." Hearing the words of the sannyasi, the pure-hearted Hadai Pandit felt intense distress. He thought, "This sannyasi has begged for my very life. At the same time, if I refuse his request, I'll be ruined." It is a well-known fact that in the past, many pious men became glorious by offering their lives to satisfy mendicant sannyasis. Lord Ramachandra was the life and soul of King Dasharath. The holy sage Vishvamitra asked Dasharath to give him his son. The Puranas say that although King Dasharath was unable to live without Lord Ramachandra, he still offered him to the sage. Today, the same thing has happened to me. "Oh, Krishna, please protect me from this dilemma. The same situation is here, so why should I not have the same mind as Dasharath? Lakshman has now appeared in my family as Nityananda." Thinking like this, the Brahmin Hadai Pandit went before his wife and explained the situation to her in detail. Hearing of the dilemma from her husband, the chaste Padmavati, the mother of the universe, said, "My lord, do what you think is best. That is my opinion." Hadai Pandit then came before the sannyasi and, with his head bent down, offered him his son. Taking Nityananda with him, the sannyasi departed. In this way, Lord Nityananda left home. As soon as Lord Nityananda left home, Hadai Pandit fell senseless to the ground. Who can describe the lamentation and crying of Hadai Pandit? Even wood and stone melted hearing his lamentation. Hadai became stunned due to his absorption in devotional mellows, and people began to say that he had become a madman. He did not eat any grain for 3 months. He survived only by the mercy of Lord Krishna. It is natural that due to attachment, both the Lord and his servants are unable to leave one another. This is the inconceivable nature of the Lord and the Vaishnavas. Lord Kapila manifested indifference and left his widowed mother, Devahuti. Shukdev Goswami left his Vaishnava father, Srila Vyasadeva, without even looking back. Lord Chaitanya, the crest jewel among the sannyasis, left home, leaving his mother, Sachi Devi, alone. From the spiritual point of view, such leaving is never actually leaving. Some intelligent persons will understand this. All these pastimes are performed for the deliverance of fallen souls. Hearing of such pastimes melts even stones. If even a Muslim hears of such pastimes, as the lamentation of Lord Ramachandra when he lost Sita, he will certainly cry. Lord Nityananda Prabhu left home, wandering to the holy places by his own sweet will and ecstasy. The Lord first went to Vakreshvar, and then he went alone to Vaidyanath. From Vaidyanath, he went to Gaya and then to Kashi, the abode of Lord Shiva, where the Ganges flows toward the north. Lord Nityananda was extremely pleased to see the Ganges. He took bath and drank some water, yet this could not relieve his grief. In the month of Magha, January, the Lord took early morning baths at Prayag. Then he went to Mathura, his former birthplace. Lord Nityananda sported in the waters of the river Jamuna at Vishramagat. Then he went with great curiosity to see Govardhan Hill. He visited each of the 12 forests, beginning with Vrindavan. When he saw the house and courtyard of Nanda Maharaj at Gokul, he sat down and cried profusely. After offering his obeisances to Madan Gopal, Lord Nityananda left for Hastinapur, the abode of the Pandavas. Seeing the Pandavas home, he began to cry. The local people, due to lack of devotion, were unable to understand the Lord's sentiments. Remembering Lord Balaram's glorious activities in Hastinapur, he called out, "Oh, Haladar, please save me," and then offered obeisances. Nityananda Prabhu then went to Dwarka, where he joyfully took bath in the ocean. He next went to Siddhapur, the place of Lord Kapila. Then he went to Matsyatirtha, where he served prasad at a festival. He then visited Shiva Kanchi and neighboring Vishnu Kanchi. He smiled when he saw the followers of Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva quarreling with each other. He also visited Kurukshetra, Pritudaka, Bindu Sarovara, Pravas, and Sudarshantirtha. He then visited the exalted holy place called Tritakupa. He went to Vishal, Brahmatirtha, and Chakratirtha. The Lord visited Pratishrota, where the Saraswati River flows in the opposite direction. The most magnanimous Lord Nityananda then went to Namisharanya. He next visited the city of Ayodhya, where he cried upon seeing the birthplace of Lord Ram. From Ayodhya, he proceeded to Chandal Guhaka's kingdom, where he fell unconscious. By remembering the activities of Chandal Guhaka, Lord Nityananda remained in an ecstatic trance for 3 days. Seeing the forest where Lord Ramachandra had resided, he rolled on the ground in separation. He then went to both the Sarayu and Kausiki rivers and took bath. He saw the ashram of Pulachya Rishi and next took bath in the Gomati, Gandaki, and Shona rivers. He also climbed to the top of Mahendra mountain There, he offered obeisances to Lord Parshuram. He then visited Haridwar, the source of the Ganges. The Lord took bath in the Pampa, Bhimarati, Vindhya, and Vipasha rivers. After seeing Kartikeya at Madurai, the most intelligent Lord Nityananda went to Srishela, the abode of Shiva and Parvati. Shiva and Parvati live on this mountain in the form of a Brahmin couple. When Lord Nityananda arrived there, Shiva and Parvati understood that their most worshipful Lord was wandering on pilgrimage as a mendicant. Most satisfied to receive such a guest, Parvati happily cooked for the Lord. They fed the Lord with loving affection, and Lord Nityananda smiled and offered them his respects. Only Lord Krishna knows about their confidential discussions. Please, chapter 2.
Yeah,
How do you want? You're doing
your voice is better. Most of them will sick with Christine.
it. Anyone else want to read? Dr. Sushio? You can be famous.
No,
We're
no, I
live
don't.
on Instagram,
I don't want-
Facebook,
no.
YouTube.
Thank you.
I'll do my portion. Chapter 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Or whatever one you want to read, though. You can look in the index and just get inspired for a pastime. It can be totally spontaneous.
That's too much. Let's go in order.
Oh.
That's it.
That's what I said.
That's it. I don't think I'm just doing it.
All right.
I apologize for my dyslexia and whatnot. Alright. Chapter 3. Lord Nityananda's meeting with Sripad Madhavendra Puri. Jai.
What's it trying to hit me?
Oh, yeah. Cute.
As Lord Nityananda traveled by the will of the Providence, he met Sri Madhavendra Puri. The body of Sri Madhavendra Puri was imbued with ecstatic love of God, and his followers shared the same sentiments. Did not relish anything other than loving sentiments for Lord Krishna, who enjoyed performing pastimes in the body of Madhavendra Puri. What can I say about the devotion of he who was the spiritual master of Sri Advaita Acharya? Seeing Madhavendra Puri, Nityananda Prabhu at once fell unconscious onto the ground, stunned in ecstatic prema. Seeing Lord Nityananda, Madhavendra Puri forgot himself and also fell unconscious. Sri Gaurachandra repeatedly said that Sri Madhavendra Puri is the original root of worship in ecstatic love. After both Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri swooned. The disciples, headed by Ishwara Puri, began to cry. Recovering after some time, Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri embraced each other and cried. Overwhelmed by ecstatic love for Krishna, they rolled on the sand and cried out loudly. The tears of love flowing from their eyes like rain soaked Mother Earth, making her feel gratified. Shivering, shedding of tears, and the hair of their bodies standing on end, as well as other ecstatic symptoms, manifested themselves one after another endlessly. This ecstasy was caused by Lord Krishna personally residing in their bodies. Lord Nityananda said, "The results of visiting all the holy places of pilgrimage have now been borne fruit. Today I have seen the lotus feet of Madhavendra Puri. Seeing his ecstatic love of God, my life has been completely successful." Sri Madhavendra Puri embraced Nityananda Prabhu, but was unable to reply because his throat was choked up due to ecstatic love. Madhavendra Puri, who was so pleased that he was unable to release Nityananda Prabhu from his embrace. Ishwara Puri, Bharananda Puri, and all the other disciples of Madhavendra Puri felt intense attachment for Nityananda Prabhu. They had met many sadhus, but never before had they seen such symptoms of prema. Feeling distress at the thought of mixing with materialistic people, they had wandered in the forest. But now, after meeting Lord Nityananda, their distress was relieved and their Krishna prema was aroused. Nityananda Prabhu traveled for some time with Madhavendra Puri, relishing Krishna Katha. The qualities of Madhavendra Puri were most wonderful. He would swoon just by seeing a dark cloud. Out of love for Krishna, he laughed and cried throughout day and night, shouting, "Haya, Haya," like a drunkard. Lord Nityananda was intensely absorbed in his loving sentiments for Govinda. He laughed loudly, swaying to and fro. Madhavendra Puri's disciples constantly chanted the holy name of Lord Hari. Seeing the extraordinary symptoms of love manifested by Nityananda Prabhu and Madhavendra Puri, the two forgot whether it was day or night in their absorption of the ecstatic love of Krishna. Although remaining together for a number of days, Nityananda Prabhu and Madhavendra Puri felt that the period to be hardly a moment. Who knows all that took place between the Lord and Madhavendra Puri? Only Krishna knows. Unable to give up the company of Nityananda Prabhu, Madhavendra Puri constantly remained with him. Madhavendra Bale Premana Dikulan Katha Se Mora Savritra Henna Prema Jata Janilu Krishnera Kripra Ache Mora Parti Nityananda Henna Bandhu Yane Samadhi Yese Satin Yadi Nityananda Sanghaya Se Satan Sarva Kritra Vaikuntati Maya Nityananda Henna Bhakta Sunili Sarvane Asvaya Bhaiba Krishna Chandra Se Jane Nityananda Charya Tilak Desya Rahe Bhakta Haile O Se Krishna Priya Nahe. Madhavendra Puri said, I never seen such an ecstatic love. Where there is such prem is my favorite holy place. I know Krishna has given me his mercy because he has given me such a friend as Nityananda. Wherever one finds Nityananda's company in the most sacred and transcendental place, that devotee who hears the name of Nityananda will certainly attain the lotus feet of Krishna Chandra. If one has the slightest envy for Nityananda, Krishna never favors him, even if he is a devotee. Madhavendra Puri exhibited great affection for the Lord Nityananda through the day and night with speech and deeds. Nityananda Prabhu considered Madhavendra Puri to be nothing other than his guru. These two vastly learned personalities did not know whether it was day or night due to ecstatic love for Krishna. After staying together for some days, Nityananda Prabhu left for Setubandha, Rameshwaram, and Madhavendra Puri went to see the Saruya River. In their absorption for love of Krishna, both Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri forgot their bodies. Feeling of separation for the Lord maintained a devotee's life. Otherwise, how could one tolerate such intense feelings? Whoever hears about the meetings of Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri will certainly achieve the wealth of love for Krishna. After traveling in ecstatic mood for some days, Lord Nityananda arrived at Setubandha. After taking baths at Daneshwar Trita, he went to see Lord Ramaveshwara. Lord Nityananda, next to Vijayagyanira, he visited the Mayapuri, Avanti, and Godavari rivers, and then went to the abode of Jadai Nishma. He visited Termimala and Kurama Kistra, and eventually arrived at Jagannath Puri to see Lord Jagannath, the Lord of Nichala. As he approached Sri Nilachala, Lord Nityananda fell unconscious after seeing the flag atop of the temple. He saw Lord Jagannath as a source of the Chaturbuja, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Drayumna, Aniruddha. Immediately upon seeing the Lord Jagannath, Lord Nityananda fell into a trance of ecstatic love so that his hair stood on end. When he recovered his senses, he fell to the floor. Ecstatic symptoms of love of Krishna, such as shivering of the body, perspiring, crying, swooning, and loud roaring manifested in his body. After remaining at Nichala for some time, Nityananda Prabhu departed in great jubilation to Ganga Sagara. Who can describe the Lord's pilgrimage? I have only written briefly about it by his mercy. After visiting many more holy places, Nityananda Prabhu returned to Mathura. He remained in Vrindavan, being so absorbed in thought of Krishna that he was unable to tell whether it was day or night. He did not eat, but occasionally drank some milk if someone offered it to him. Nityananda Prabhu knew very well that Lord Gaurachandra was residing in Navadvip. He thought to himself, I will go and I will serve Lord Gauranga when he manifests his opulence. Nityananda Prabhu therefore did not go to Navadvip immediately, but remained at Mathura. He regularly enjoyed sporting in the water of the Yamuna and playing with the children in Vrindavan. Although Lord Nityananda is omnipotent, he did not distribute devotional service to the Lord at that time. Yave Gorachanda Prabhu Kriba Praksha Tarase Anaya Bhakti Nera Vilasha. When the Lord Gauranga manifests his opulence, then I will begin distributing bhakti on his order. The devotees of the Lord Chaitanya did not like to do anything without his order, but this did not diminish their glories in at least. Brahma, Ananta, Shiva, and the other demigods create, maintain, and destroy by the order of Lord Chaitanya. Sinners who do not like to hear such things are not fit to be seen by Vaishnavas. Just see for yourself how Lord Nityananda Prabhu blessed the people of this universe with the treasure of praying. Nityananda Rai is the foremost devotee of Lord Chaitanya because the glories of Lord Chaitanya always dance on his tongue. Day and night, Lord Nityananda chants the glories of Lord Chaitanya. When one worships Lord Nityananda, he surely attains devotion for Lord Chaitanya. All glories to Nityananda Rai, the first manifestation of Lord Chaitanya. The glories of Lord Chaitanya became manifest only by his mercy of Lord Nityananda. One becomes attached to Lord Nityananda by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. One who knows Lord Nityananda never faces any adversities. Those who wish to cross the ocean of material existence and drown in the ocean of devotional service must worship Nityananda. Someone said, Nityananda is just like Balaram. Another person said, he is the most dear to Lord Chaitanya. Some may consider Lord Nityananda to be a sannyasi. Some may consider him a devotee, or some may consider him as jnani. They may all say whatever they like. Even Lord Nityananda were the most insignificant servant of Lord Chaitanya, I would still keep his lotus feet in my heart. Therefore, I kick the head of any sinner who discards the glories of Lord Nityananda and dare to criticize him. If you find any follower of Lord Chaitanya apparently saying something bad about Lord Nityananda, you should know that what he said is actual glorification. Vaishnavas are always pure and full of knowledge. So if there's ever any quarrel between them, know it simply to be a part of their pastimes. If a person takes the side of one Vaishnava and criticizes another, he will certainly be vanquished. Anyone who follows Lord Nityananda without finding fault in him will surely attain the shelter of Sri Gaurachandra. When will the day come when I will see Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda surrounded by their devotees? Let me serve Lord Gaurachandra under the instructions of Lord Nityananda, who is my worshipful Lord in all respects. All glories to the Supreme Lord Sri Gaurachandra. I beg for your mercy so that my mind may remain absorbed in the lotus feet of you both. Nityananda Rai is your greatest devotee. No one can obtain him without your sanction. Lord Nityananda wandered about the forest of Vrindavan until Lord Gaurachandra displayed his opulence. Whoever hears these descriptions of Lord Nityananda, visits the holy places, will certainly obtain the treasure of divine prema. Accepting Sri Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. And the body they love.
Do a little kirtan or something, and then prashad. We can do after prashad, but some people have been not eating all day, so they're very hungry.
Start for Nityananda.
Who votes on one last pastime?
I feel bad.
I want all of them. One more pastime?
Prabhu, is it okay? What? Is it okay with you another pastime?
One more pastime?
I don't think what you say.
Just one more.
Should we get a new t-shirt?
Okay. Ready, go.
Yoga and Mata, you do it?
Yeah,
Best one.
I know, right? Okay, Deliverance of Jaga and Mare, page 81.
Haribo!
Alright. Oh, it's kind of long.
You could summarize it
Yeah,
in your own words.
well, I don't know all the details. Okay, I'll read fast. But then if it gets too long, Janarn can finish because he knows all the details. Yeah, okay. One day, Lord Chaitanya ordered Nityananda and Haridas Thakur as follows. Listen, listen, Nityananda. Listen, Haridas. Go and preach my order everywhere. Beg everyone, chant Hare Krishna. Worship Krishna and learn the science of Krishna. Do not preach anything other than this. At the end of the day, come and report to me. If, in spite of your begging, anyone refuses to accept your order, I will come with a chakra to kill him. Hearing this command of Lord Chaitanya, all Vaishnavas smiled. No one has the power to disobey the Lord's order. Ordered by the Lord, Lord Nityananda and Haridas departed. Nityananda Prabhu eternally carries the Lord's orders on his head. For anyone who doubts this is certainly a fool. Following the order of Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur went to each house in Nadia. They requested everyone to chant and sing the holy names of the Lord and worship Krishna. They instructed that Krishna is the life, soul, and wealth of everyone. They said, "Dear brothers, attentively chant the holy names of Lord Krishna." Just as sannyasis, they wandered all over Nadia, preaching Mahaprabhu's message to everyone. Whoever met them would immediately offer respects and invite them for lunch. Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur would beg only one thing: chant Hare Krishna, worship Hare Krishna, and learn the topics of Krishna. After pleading with the people in this way, the two would leave that place. All saintly persons were pleased by their requests. Hearing the wonderful topics from the mouths of these two lords, people would happily respond to it in their own way. Someone thought, "I will certainly follow their order." Another person considered, "These two have become mad due to their fault of chanting mantras." There were people who had been forbidden to enter Srivas Pandit's house while Lord Chaitanya danced with his followers. As soon as Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur approached those people's houses, they would charge at them, shouting, "Beat them! Beat them! You have become crazy due to bad association." Those people would admonish, "And now you have come here to make us crazy." Respected, civilized people have become crazy because of Nimai Pandit. It seems that these two are spies of a thief. Some of them would say, in the guise of preaching, they are surveying each house. If they are saintly persons, then why are they acting like this? If they come again, we will take them to the authorities. Hearing such things, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur would simply laugh. They were not in the least afraid because of the strength of Lord Chaitanya's order. Both of them thus regularly visited every house to preach. In the evening, they would return to Vishwambar and report their day's activities. One day, while preaching the message of Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas came across two drunkards that were brothers. They were plunderers and murderers and addicted to wine and women. There was no end to their misdeeds. There was no sin that they had not committed. Despite being born in a Brahmana family, they regularly ate beef and drank wine. They plundered people's wealth and set fire to their houses. Perpetually intoxicated, they roamed the streets of Navadvip and severely beat whomever they caught. Wow. Wowzers.
Were they Bhajans?
What? People watched from a distance, not even daring to come close. Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas thus arrived where these two brothers were attracting a crowd in a drunken state. They were sometimes very friendly towards each other, and at other times would pull each other's hair in anger and abuse one another with filthy words. "We'll degrade the caste of Brahmanas of Nadia," they exclaimed, fully intoxicated from drinking wine. Let me redo that.
Yes.
We'll degrade the caste of Brahmanas of Nadia, they exclaimed, fully intoxicated from drinking wine. Their bodies were reservoirs of innumerable sins. Reservoirs of innumerable sins. However, the sin of blaspheming Vaishnavas was not yet committed by them. Since they spent their days and nights in the company of other drunkards, there was no opportunity for them to commit an offense against Vaishnavas. Interesting. Wherever there is blasphemy of Vaishnavas, even in holy places, that place and the blasphemers will be destroyed. If there is blasphemy in the assembly of sannyasis, then such gathering is worse than a den of drunkards. A drunkard can be delivered in the course of time, but there is no salvation for those who criticize a Vaishnava. Even after having studied the scriptures, such a blasphemer's intelligence will be ruined. Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas watched from a distance as the two drunkards punched each other and abused one another with filthy language. Nityananda asked some of the spectators, "What is the caste of these two? Why are they acting like this?" "O Gosai, these two drunkards are Brahmanas," the people replied. "They were born of respected parents in a high-class family. Many of their forefathers resided in Nadia. In fact, there is not even a tinge of fault in their dynasty. Only these two gave up their social responsibilities to commit all kinds of sins. They have been acting in this way since childhood. Considering the two brothers most sinful, their family members rejected them. The people of Nadia are always afraid of them because at any time they can set someone's house on fire. There are no sins these brothers have not committed. They rob, steal, kill, rape, eat meat, and drink wine." After hearing about these two drunkards, the most compassionate Nityananda Prabhu began to ponder their deliverance. Lord Chaitanya has descended to deliver the fallen people of this age. Where will he find anyone more fallen than these two? The Lord has not yet revealed himself to the ordinary people. Not seeing his uncommon influence, they are ridiculing him. If the Lord bestows mercy on these two sinful drunkards, then the people of the entire world will see his transcendental glories. Being known as Nityananda, the servant of Lord Chaitanya, will have meaning only if I can purify their hearts and deliver them. How wonderful it would be if they become intoxicated by chanting Krishna's names the same way they are now intoxicated. If I can make these two take the Lord's name and cry, I will then consider all my travels to holy places a success. At present, whoever even touches the shadow of these two drunkards at once bathes in the Ganges with his clothes on. I will be extremely fortunate if I'm able to get people to accept that by simply seeing these drunkards, it's the same as bathing in the Ganges. No phones, please. The glories of Lord Nityananda are unlimited. He descended to save the fallen souls of this world. Thinking to deliver the two drunkards, Nityananda said to Haridas, "Just see how miserable these two drunkards are. They were born in a Brahmana family, but their behavior is most sinful. They will be unable to escape the most severe punishments of Yamaraj. Dear Haridas, the Muslims beat you so severely that you almost died. Still, you desired the welfare of such people in your mind. If you really desire these drunkards' welfare in your heart, surely they will be delivered. The Lord never ignores your will. He has often confirmed this fact. Let the people of the entire world see the uncommon influence of our Lord, by which he will deliver these two drunkards. Just as the deliverance of Ajamila is described in the Puranas, let the people of the three worlds directly see how the Lord delivered these drunkards." Haridas was well acquainted with the glories of Lord Nityananda. He thought, he will certainly deliver these two drunkards. Haridas said to Nityananda Prabhu, "Listen, O Lord, whatever you desire is indeed the desire of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. You deceive me just as a person deceives an animal. You always kindly teach me in that way." Smiling, Nityananda embraced Haridas and very gently said, "Let us go and repeat the Lord's order to these two drunkards. The Lord commands everyone to worship Krishna. This is particularly fitting for those who are most sinful. Our duty is to simply repeat the Lord's orders. Even after repeating them, if they are not accepted, that is also the Lord's will. To impart the message of Lord Chaitanya, both Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas went towards Jagai and Madai. Some pious people forbade them to go. If you go near them, you may lose your lives, they warned. We are very much afraid of these two drunkards. That is why we generally remain inside our houses. How can you dare go near them? These two do not care for sannyasis. In fact, they are accustomed to killing brahmanas and cows without discrimination. In spite of the warnings of many pious people, Nityananda and Haridas approached the two brothers while chanting, Krishna, Krishna! Approaching them, Nityananda and Haridas loudly repeated the Lord's message to two debauchees. They said, Bala Krishna Bhaja Krishna Laha Krishna Nam Krishna Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Dharana Pram. Chant Krishna, worship Krishna, and sing the glories of Krishna. Krishna is your mother, father, wealth, and life. Lord Krishna will mercifully deliver you. Please give up your sinful life and worship him. Upon hearing the loud voices of Nityananda and Haridas, the two drunkards raised their hands and looked around. Their eyes became red with anger. Seeing the sannyas features of Nityananda and Haridas, they began to chase them, screaming, Catch them! Catch them! Nityananda and Haridas quickly fled. The two drunkards chased them, yelling, Wait! Wait! Running behind Nityananda and Haridas like a raging storm. The two lords ran away as if in great fear. All the pious people thought, we tried to stop these two sannyasis from going near the drunkards. Now they're in great danger. However, the impious persons present there smiled and said, Today, Lord Narayana has awarded fit punishment to these pseudo-sannyasis. The pious brahmanas prayed, O Krishna, please save them. O Krishna, please save them. At this time, everyone ran away out of fear of the two brothers, Jagai and Madai. They chased Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas, and the two lords ran as fast as they could. Although the drunkards shouted, We have almost caught them! Still, they were unable to catch hold of Nityananda and Haridas. While running, Nityananda said to Haridas, O Vaishnava Haridas, what do you think? If we survive today, will it be our good fortune? It will be our good fortune. Haridas replied, O Lord, what can I say? It is all my fault that we will soon lose our lives. This is the result of trying to teach drunkards about Krishna. We will soon get our just reward in the form of death. Speaking like this, both Nityananda and Haridas smiled as they ran. Because the two drunkards were fat, they were unable to run as swiftly as the two lords. Even though they tried, they shouted, Oh, brothers, where are you going? How will you escape the grip of Jagai and Madai? You do not know who is chasing you. Turn around and see, we are Jagai and Madai. Feigning great fear, the two lords ran very swiftly while listening to the threats of the drunkards. They prayed, Oh Krishna, oh Govinda, please save us. I cannot run anymore, Haridas said. Alas, why did I come with this mischievous Nityananda after knowing about his restless nature? Krishna saved me before from the wrath of the Muslims, but now I'm going to surely lose my life because of this mischievous person. Nityananda replied, I am not restless. Think carefully, and you will see that it is your Lord Chaitanya who is restless. You, Lord, is but a simple brahmana, yet he gives orders like a king. Only by his order are we going door to door to preach his message. Although we carry out his orders, preaching door to door, so far we have not found anyone heeding our request. That's so funny. They're just like running around like everyone's chanting Krishna. Everyone's like, no. Not even God himself could get people to chant sometimes. Difficult. All right. Where was I?
preaching door to door. So far, we've not found anyone heeding our request. In fact, people simply call us thieves, cheaters, and nothing else. If we do not follow his order, we will become ruined. And if we follow it, then this is the result. I know you will not find fault with your Lord, so ultimately it is I who am to blame. In this way, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas quarreled humorously while the two drunkards continued
Still
the chase. They're like running.
Having a full conversation.
Yeah. It's your fault. No, it's Lord Chaitanya's fault. No, blame me. Finally, Nityananda and Haridas reached Lord Chaitanya's house. Dulled by drinking wine, the two drunkards became confused and had lost sight of Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas. Being baffled, they began to push one and pull one another. They were too intoxicated to understand where they were before or how they had reached this place. When Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur looked back and did not see the two drunkards following them, they heaved a sigh of relief and embraced each other. Then they went to meet Lord Vishwambar, who was sitting inside of his house. He appeared very charming, his beauty conquering that of Cupid. The Lord was seated, surrounded by many Vaishnavas, explaining the truth of himself to the assembly, just as Lord Narayana, the Lord of Svetadvip, had previously instructed great sages headed by Sanaka. In this way, Nityananda and Haridas arrived before the Lord to report the day's activities. They said, "Today we saw two drunkards who still claim to be Brahmanas. We politely asked them to chant the holy names of Krishna, but they chased us in anger. We are fortunate to be alive." The Lord asked, "Who were those two drunkards, and what are their names? Being Brahmanas, why are they acting in such a degraded manner?" Gangadas and Srivas Pandit, who were sitting in the assembly, described all the sinful activities committed by the drunkards. "O Lord, their names are Jagai and Madai," they said. "They are sons of pious Brahmana, but due to bad association, they have become exceedingly degraded. Indeed, they cannot live without wine for even a single day. The people of Nadia are very afraid of them. There is no house in Nadia where these two have not committed theft. There is no end to their sins. O Gosai, you must have seen them and know everything." Yes, I know them very well. If they come here, I will cut them both to pieces," Lord Chaitanya replied. "You can do whatever you want, but as long as these two drunkards are around, I am not going to preach," Nityananda said. "Why do you needlessly brag about yourself? First, make them chant the names of Govinda. By nature, a pious person chants the holy names of Krishna. But these two drunkards do nothing but commit sinful activities. If you deliver these two drunkards by awarding them devotional service, then your reputation as the deliverer of the fallen souls will have meaning. Your glories will broadcast after delivering me, but your reputation will be enhanced to a much greater extent if you deliver these two fallen souls. These drunkards were already delivered by the moment they had your darshan," Lord Vishwambar smilingly replied. "Since you desire their ultimate welfare, Krishna will soon deliver them." Hearing this from the mouth of the Lord, all the Vaishnavas chanted, "Hari, Hari." The Lord's statement convinced everyone that these two drunkards would surely be saved. Haridas Thakur said to Advaita Acharya, "The Lord sent me with this restless boy. I remain somewhere while he goes somewhere else. The Ganges is filled with crocodiles in the rainy season, but Nityananda sometimes tries to catch them while swimming. I loudly call out to warn him from the shore, but alas, he floats fearlessly into the water along with the crocodiles."
Then we'll have a little shot break and find out what happens afterwards.
Wow, cliffhanger.
Haribo!
Haribo!
You want
Jai
prashad? Well, I
Nitai.
want the prashad, and if we could move this blanket, we could all sit there.
Great. We'll come back later. Already full.